And now, News Channel 10's 24/7 local weather first alert forecast.
Good Tuesday morning, everyone. I am meteorologist Shelden checking in with a quick look at a foggy start to our Tuesday out there. We've got a lot of moisture in the atmosphere. We got dew points in the high 50s. That's where our temperatures are at as well here at the time of recording. So expecting some pretty dense fog here as we start out the day. And here in Amarillo, we are not the only ones. As you can see, looking around the region, generally the northern half of the area, expecting some patchy fog around a lot of the area. So leave yourself a little bit of extra time to get where you're going, because we're probably going to be expecting dense to patchy fog for probably the next several hours. This probably could last into and after sunrise this morning, simply because our dew points are simply so high. It's probably going to take a little to get those temperatures kind of separated from those dew points. So make sure to leave yourself a little extra time to get where you're going, and expect maybe some limited visibility, especially like I said, if you are in this northern half. We're going to continue to monitor this as we go throughout the day today. But looking at satellite and radar, things are a lot more clear this morning, especially compared to our Monday afternoon. We're seeing some lingering showers, some weak thunderstorms up in the northeast, some scattered light showers in other parts of the region. But for the most part, things are pretty quiet. We're going to see partly to mostly cloudy skies, like I said, in addition to some of that patchy fog. Let's take a look at what you can expect for your Tuesday today. Now, what we are seeing out there, like I said, patchy fog could last to 9 a.m. Probably won't be quite as bad as it is in the early morning hours, but could still see some low visibility in some places. We'll be getting up to about 69, getting up into the 70s by this afternoon. You'll see some thunderstorm risk does come in. We'll get to that here in just a moment. But before we do that, let's look at our highs around the region today. So about 78 here in Amarillo, very similar to yesterday. Low 70s up in the north, maybe mid to high 80s down off in the southern ends of the region. But thunderstorm risk, that's what we're going to be talking about here, as we are in first alert mode here at News Channel 10 for the day today, expecting the possibility of some strong to severe thunderstorms going into your Tuesday afternoon, could last into Tuesday evening. So let's jump right in here, take a look at our severe weather risk courtesy of the Climate Prediction Center. This yellow that you see here is a slight risk. You can see a marginal around that, and then thunderstorm risk on the other side of that. But we're really going to be kind of spotlighting kind of this area that you see right here under this slight risk. That's where we're going to be expecting probably the bulk of our activity. So when you see that slight risk, what does that entail? Well, let's go ahead and jump right in and take a look at what that entails with our storm threat. So we're really going to be looking at the possibility of flash flooding, which we don't always track here in the Texas Panhandle. But the thing is, we've seen a lot of rain over the past couple of weeks, and because of that, if you get a lot of rain on an area that is already pretty saturated, a lot of that water could run off, could see some flash flooding across parts of the region today. Strong winds, as this storm could kind of amass into kind of just a big line of thunderstorms. That's when you see those strong winds. Could see some large hail, but if it congeals into a line, that hail risk does go down a little bit. The tornadic risk still very low, but it's not zero. So we still want you to be aware of that. And this is one of those things, since we are in first alert mode, we're going to be providing extensive coverage all day long today. So make sure you don't miss a single thing when it comes to any severe weather. But looking at the timing and placement of it, you'll see right here, right around 4 o'clock, we start to form things up around the western, right around the state line with New Mexico. Everything generally starts to shift off towards kind of the southeastern parts of the area. This is what we call northwest flow. So the general steering flow of these storms are going to be out of the northwest off towards the southeastern parts of the area. You'll see a few isolated cells. That's where you'll see the stronger storms. There is where you start to see it kind of congeal into a line. Now, will it stay in our area? Will it push further off towards the south before that happens? Does remain yet to be seen. This model is suggesting that it does push on out of the area by 8 o'clock. You'll see some lingering showers on the backside, maybe down around Hardeman County, seeing some severe weather. Now, some models are suggesting the possibility of going into early tomorrow morning. We do see a few thunderstorms kind of hanging out there in the southeastern corner of the area. So we'll continue to keep an eye on that, see how that pans out. We'll see some lingering showers, maybe some scattered thunderstorms going into Wednesday, but the overall severe threat after today really does diminish quite a bit. But let's talk about our rainfall forecast. We are expecting considerable amounts of rain here across the next 7 days as a whole, because you're going to notice right here, we're going to go through this step by step, because looking at the next 7 days as a whole, you do notice it has Amarillo getting close to the territory of 2 inches of rain, which is fantastic. I don't think anybody's going to be upset with that. And the good news is, I think this makes it better. It's going to fall over an extended period of time. We're not going to see all this rain at once. So if we look at just Tuesday, what we're expecting, just some scattered light showers around the region. We dive into Wednesday, still just another couple tenths to maybe a quarter of an inch. So we're just really going to kind of, nickel and dime our way up to those big totals. And I really think that's a very good way to do it, rather than getting it all at once. It all runs off. We see flash flooding. If we can get these little totals day by day, that's really going to go a long ways in getting us into where we need to be when it comes to this drought as we make our way into summer. Looking at your 7-day supercast, a lot of rain in the forecast. 50% 50% chances for today. Like I said, first alert mode, that's only for your Tuesday. We'll see rain chances kind of dwindle anywhere from 20 to 50%. Looks like they do maybe taper down a little bit in the early weekend, but they do ramp back up early next week. Memorial Day, expecting highs in the 70s. Maybe some more showers in the forecast, so really going to be keeping an eye on that as it's graduation season, and of course Memorial Day plans for the weekend could really be affected by any storm chances, so make sure to keep it locked here to News Channel 10. We'll be keeping you up to date with everything you need to know.